Hey family, welcome to One Haunted House. I'm Star, and on this channel, I make content to empower others to pursue holistic wealth through real estate, financial hacks, and at-home inspiration. So if you don't know already, we were on HGTV's new show, Design at Your Door. Oh my gosh, it started! How you feel, babe?
I'm interested to see how this is gonna come out.
I'm so nervous to see ourselves.
We're gonna get that proof.
But first, Windy City recaps Alice and Victoria.
That's it! Oh. This show was birthed during quarantine. It's pretty much a virtual design experience with one of HGTV's designers. So you meet your HGTV designer and they send you a bunch of products to help with the room that you want to be made over. And they also use some items that you've already had around your house as a part of the design plan. The designer gives you a design plan and it's up to you to do all the work in the design plan, any renovation, any paint, any project that is needed. You do it all yourself, you tape it yourself. Because it's quarantine, no one comes into your home outside of virtually through Zoom. So we worked with designer Alice and Victoria. She gave us our design plan. We loved the design. We made just a few changes after the filming process, and we may make a few more in the future. So I'll show you what the room looks like so far. So if you saw us on HGTV, thanks for watching. And if you haven't, this is your chance to see our room now. So let me get to showing you guys.
Wow.
So the first thing we did during our design is paint. So one of my favorite additions to the room is this lovely mirror. I had a mirror in the room before. It was actually in that corner. And it was a mirror that my mother gave me when I was still living with her. So part of our design plan was actually replacing this mirror because it matches the scale of the room better. So this mirror is a tad bit bigger than the mirror that was previously here in this corner. And we placed it here so that it would bounce light off from the window. So now it's directly across from the window. So the biggest project in this room was this headboard wall that we created because, as you can see, we don't have a traditional headboard. We didn't have a headboard before. So instead of purchasing a new headboard, we created this headboard wall. And it was a project, but I love it. It was actually something that I wanted to do, but I didn't know if my husband would be up for it. But since HGTV asked us to do it, we did it. So we pretty much just took pieces of trim and what do we do, babe?
You cut the trim vertically and horizontally to make the trim patterns in the wall.
So yeah, we cut vertical and horizontal pieces of trim, and we had to be very particular about the measurements and spacing of the wall. We also found out that our wall was not perfectly level. It's not perfectly straight, so there were different measurements at different points in the wall. So if you try a project like this headboard wall where you're adding trim, make sure that you get your measurements precise at every place where you need to place a piece of trim, because houses settle, things aren't made perfectly at perfect angles all the time. It can be a little bit off, and it can be annoying to have to cut something assuming that all of the lengths are the same, and they're not. So that's something we learned, but we love how it turned out. The color gray is actually 2 stops darker than the gray that's on the wall. So it's in the same shade family, just 2 shades or 2 stops darker than the color we already had. For our bedding, we have a lot fluffier bed. So the bed frame and the mattress we already had. We have an adjustable bed frame, and we have a mattress that we purchased right when we bought this house. So that stuff stayed the same. What didn't stay the same was the bedding on top of it. So we have white duvet, we have white, what are those pillows called?
Fluffy sham pillows.
Sham pillows. We have have the white sham pillows, the big white sham pillows, white duvet cover. We also have like this gray color on top. I really like this gray cover. I thought it would be too much gray. I like it. You might think it's too much gray, but I like the different shades of gray, like layered on top of each other, because I feel like if it was like the same gray, then it will kind of wash each other out. So having like a different stocks of gray, even in the darker charcoal gray throw pillows, to me add some dimension to the room, as well as the headboard wall, the pattern sets on the wall as well. I added this slate blue throw blanket because it just adds a pop of color to the bed, and it also matches the chair and the sitting area that I'll show you in a little bit. Like the pop of color, I might add more of this color on the bed, maybe like another throw pillow or two. I'm not sure. I don't want it to look like overly fluffy, or I don't know. I don't want it to feel like you can't sit on the bed without like having like a gazillion pillows to move. We have enough pillows to move. So I want to bring in more of this blue in the room. I just haven't figured out how I want to do it yet without it being overwhelming or looking like, I don't know. So still working through that. Let me know what you think, how I can bring more of this color blue in. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. So this is actually, I put a picture of this up already, but this is my favorite part of the design. I love, love, love these nightstands. These nightstands are beautiful. They are, what did she call them? Double wide?
Nice. Double wide, yeah.
Yeah, they're double wide nightstands. They're nice and wide. I love how they have like this, what would you call this, like a shelf?
It is a shelf, it's a slide in.
Yeah, I like how they have like this open shelf area here, so it's good for decor. Or just, I mean, obviously if you want it like for us, we have books here. And we also have like our power cords can come from underneath for our phones to charge. But I love this little view here, and also has a drawer for things you want to tuck away in your nightstand as well. Love that. This lamp is actually something that I picked out before the show. I picked out the same lamp. I wanted to put it in our living room. So when I saw this show up on my doorstep, I was so excited because like I feel like Alice and Victoria just like, she got me. Like we both love brass and we have similar styles, and we actually picked out the exact same lamp. Having these palms on either side of the bed for me definitely brings some more light into the room, especially with all of the grays and whites. Love having the plants, and also love having the pops of blues as well. My second favorite part of the room is this beautiful light fixture. If you've been watching me for a while, you know how much I love my light fixtures. I love brass light fixtures. We had a ceiling fan here before, as you can probably see in some pictures. I'll throw in here. And this light fixture was actually a gift from Alice and Victoria. So yeah, one of my favorite things. This was actually something that my husband and I argued about a little bit. Not like a real argument, but we had a little debate about it because he actually liked having the ceiling fan in here, and I just didn't think it looked as good. Like this, like I feel like without this light fixture, the room would look completely different. Like it would just, I don't know. I feel like having the warm brass against the cool grays in the room definitely helped to balance out the room and bring it together without it feeling like too sterile or overly warm. So I feel like it's like a perfect combination of warm colors, cool colors, and just a little bit more of like glam. What do you call it? Like glam luxury?
Bougie.
Bougie?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just a little bit of, you know, it just makes our room just look that much more sexy, you know? One thing that I changed that I think made the biggest difference in this room is the window treatment. So we didn't have curtains here before. Of course, we just moved into this house a few months ago. We just hadn't gotten to our room yet because we were starting downstairs. So we just hadn't done anything in here yet. So a part of our design plan with HGTV was adding a brass curtain rod and these white curtains here. I wanted the window to make more of a statement than what it was already making. So I added 4 more panels to it. I added these embroidered shears here, which I think adds a lot of nice texture to the window. And I also added some plain white shears to balance it out. So I have the solid white curtains, the embroidered shears, and then the solid white shears. on each side of the window. I added the shears by adding a second curtain rod underneath. If I were you and I wanted to do this kind of look, I would just buy a double rod from the beginning. But because we had the first rod already here from the original design plan, we just used that rod and just added a second one directly underneath to then add in the sheer curtains to the window treatment. So yeah, this is probably one of the biggest transformations in the room. I love it. Love the original curtains and love the fullness that adding these sheer curtains gave to the window. We went to a luxury hotel recently and they had the sheer curtains on the inside and then the solid curtains on the outside. And I just love the way it looked. So I wanted to mimic that in our master bedroom to make it feel more like a luxury hotel. A part of the original design plan was for one of the green chairs from the living room to come up here in this corner. That was one of the things that I changed about the design plan after shooting. I ended up buying this slate blue chair instead. I changed that because it was a few things. One, I felt like the profile of the green chair from the living room was too low for the corner, and based on like the height of the shelves behind it, it just felt like it was just too low. So I wanted a chair that sat a little bit higher, and it kind of filled up the space a little bit better. Also, I felt like the olive green was too warm of a color for this corner because we have the bronze shelves that go all the way up to the ceiling. We have this beautiful bronze lamp here, and it just felt super warm in this corner, especially when it's pretty cool with the grays in the other parts of the room. And to me, it just felt kind of out of place, kind of disjointed. So I thought this blue color was a lot more cool for the space. It balances out the warm tones and the brass fixtures. To me, this looks a lot better. It looks a lot calmer in the space. And I just added this mustard throw blanket, again, to pull in those warm tones from the brass fixtures. And I added a more cool pillow that has grays and whites, and also a little bit warmer white in it as well. And I feel like it tied in the grays and the warm tones and the cool tones that are in the room. And this ottoman is a part of the original design plan. This ottoman came from Walmart. This side table here was a gift from my mother. I was using as a nightstand before, so we put it here as a part of the original design plan. And I love fresh flowers. You probably see fresh flowers in a lot of my videos. So I just added some fresh flowers here and a candle here just to spruce up the space. Let me know, do you like this blue chair here better, or did you like the green chair here? Let me know in the comment section which chair you like better in this space. Then we have our TV space / dresser. This is a farmhouse style dresser from Walmart. The thing I love about this dresser are the brass pulls that we have here, and it matches the brass in the room. I just added this black cute basket here for our remotes. I think it just looks cute, and it takes up some more space on the dresser, so that's nice. I already had these white vases that I pulled. What?
Vases?
That's what it's called, babe. This lovely TV was something that my husband snuck into our bedroom.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't like TVs in the room, but you know, marriage is about compromise, you guys. So if you ever have a partner, a life partner, you might have to compromise and get a TV in the bedroom when you don't want one in the bedroom. But that's fine.
I compromise with the light fixture.
Okay. Anyways, we thought about mounting the TV, and we still may mount.
It should.
Huh?
It should.
We should?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So we probably will mount the TV at some point. I feel like too, if we mount it, it'll give me more decorating space.
Okay, maybe not
down
that.
here. Why not? Why not, babe? But the TV takes up so much surface space.
Yeah, it's two legs.
Babe, it takes up so much surface space that, I can't really do anything. I had to like just tuck these vases to the side here and just throw, this isn't even decor. That's just our like alarm and clock here.
This is premarital for people that's looking to get married and are currently engaged. This is premarital right here. Where do you put the TV? On the wall or on the dresser?
I know.
Or in the house, apparently.
I'm fine with it on the wall. This is what my room looks like. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. What's your favorite part of my room? What are some things you would change about the design? What are some things you will take away from my design that you might try in your own home? How can I incorporate some more blue into the room without it overpowering and cheapening the look of the room? Tell me what you like, tell me what you don't like, tell me what you think. Give this video a like if you like it. Subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already for more videos. And until next time, love Star.